My name's Ruth Filler, and my interest in B'nai B'rith stems from a very early age because I come from Germany, and in Germany, my parents, when I was only a little child, my parents were already involved greatly in B'nai B'rith, in the organisation in the town where we came from. So when I came to New Zealand after I married, the men of this community, my father was very involved with that, decided to form a group for B'nai B'rith. And in those days it was just the men's lodge, and we, the women, the wives of the men involved, were very involved with the banquets and with the functions and with the fundraising and so forth. And then later on, in 1970, we formed our own B'nai B'rith Women's Chapter. When I took over B'nai B'rith Chapter in 1972 from Olive Manning, who had served for 2 years, and I did 2 years as well then, and then there were a series of very excellent women who were presidents, but each one of them would only do 1 year. There may have been one or two who did 2 years, but when we ran out of people who wanted or were capable of being president, they asked me to go back, and I did it several times for many, many years, but possibly with the interruption of one or two people who did it and then stepped back, and again there was a vacancy, and I took over again. So and I was always very happy to be back in the chair. Recently, sadly, we lost Stephen Scher, who was really Mr. B'nai B'rith for many, many years in Auckland. And my association with Stephen was always extremely cordial and pleasant. He was a man whom nothing could faze. We had problems with each other, at least I had problems with him because I liked things done yesterday, and Stephen was very laid back, but no matter what I said to him or what anyone else said to him, he was unfailingly courteous, always with a smile on his face, one of the sweetest men that you could ever find anywhere. He was a real darling, and he worked tirelessly for B'nai B'rith in Auckland for many, many years. A big loss to B'nai B'rith. My proudest achievement in B'nai B'rith is, under the auspices of B'nai B'rith, was to form a Holocaust Memorial Committee. We had a shaliach here from Israel who said, you know, it's very strange. Most Jewish communities in the world have some kind of a Holocaust memorial, except this one. And the men said they would get on with it. They would, yes, or well, we'll see to that. And my husband was, of course, the inspiration for that, as having been a survivor. However, the men weren't particularly effective in getting it off the ground. And I took it on, and I formed a committee, and we had an amazingly good group of people, and we organized the making of a sculpture by a non-Jewish man called Bob Gibb, and that is in the Auckland Hebrew congregation to this very day. A wonderful sculpture on in memory of the 6 million who died. We asked the congregation to forward anybody who lost people in the Holocaust. There is a bronze plaque, several bronze plaques with names of relatives who perished. My husband had 70 or 80 members of his family that were lost. And it is a remarkable piece of sculpture. It's beautiful. And we raised the money for that. B'nai B'rith has been a real comfort to me in many, many ways through a lot of ups and downs, as everyone experiences those in their lives, and I'm no different. B'nai B'rith, we always said sisterly love and brotherly love and so on. And those are just words, but I really actually did feel there was a bond between us all. We really did get very fond of each other, we helped each other, and that's still going on now. And I find it's a wonderful organisation, and I'm very proud to be a part of it and to have been so active in it in my past.